Now that we have the building blocks of kicking while striking in place, now it's time to go into single tricus loop 1. I'm going to be in the off lead. Benjamin's going to play Joe generic. If I step in and he strikes while I'm stepping in, we've already seen the solution's pretty simple. However, most of the time when you come flying at somebody well covered and well wound up, their instinct is to jump back a bit, and now they hit the hit. And so that's what we're going to train now for this most common reaction. He can do it a little off balance, or he can just simply be in composure. As I come in, he hits the hit. Now, what do? I do the first building block. Backhand with the kick, and out. Now, notice how I shifted back to the, I'm in the right lead now. Notice how I shift to the left lead. I do not shift at this line here because now Benjamin is in a position, structurally he is in an advantage in relation to me. What I do is I shift with the left foot here. I use the left foot to control range. If he's relatively far away from me, I can step forward with the left foot without getting hit. However, if the range is closer and I step forward with the left foot, I have to understand that I may have to deal with something. So I can step forward with the left foot, I can step laterally with the left foot, or I can step diagonal backwards from the front foot and swing. Each one of those is going to create a different range, but I want to train myself as I'm here and returning myself to the left lead to use the left foot because that's taking me off the line in front of him. So once again, I come in, he meets the hit, I do the kick, I come out, here I am, and I shift this way. So I come boom, boom, boom. So I'm in the lead, I shift. See the shift? I don't stay in front of him. If I shift like this, he can keep me honest and come after me. In this moment, then it's his job to give me a taste of why I don't do that. As an alert training partner, you can be a big help in that regard. So I come in, boom, 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 and shift. You can put in as much movement as you want in between, and then you shift. Or Benjamin can be the one who shifts. And he comes, boom, boom, boom. And when he's ready, he shifts again. So notice as a feeder, I'm going forehand, backhand, forehand, and I'm giving just enough movement in my range to bring out the techniques that we're working here. Yes, there's other ranges that I can create with my footwork, but that takes us other places. That's fine, but that's a different training. As we get familiar with it, then we can alternate. So I can boom, 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 and now he comes. Boom, boom, boom. I can probe him a bit, I can probe him a bit. This is going to be where we want to get to. But for the first level, I wind up, here's my salty strike, my head is well covered. If he tests me in this moment, boom, that's fine. So most people intuitively jump back. Now I come after him. Boom. In this case here, all the stuff we were seeing in the building block range with the kicks applied. But for the drill, building single tricus loop 1, here, couple hit out. And then either one of us can shift to the off lead in this moment. Now, often you will notice that as you finish the first step, he's too damn far to reach with the second step. Then don't do this kick. Or repeat the motion, drive in the krabi kind of a way until you do reach with the kick. When that kick arrives, there's two basic possibilities. One, as we saw in the drill, he swings through. See, right here, what we're looking for in this moment is we either have puño, or if we're a little bit further, this is the range we're looking for this drill, forehand redondo, looking to split them down the center of the head, or if the hand is in front, looking to break that wrist or those fingers. We got a lot of finger breaks in dog brother fights hitting this hand. Here, the fingers are well supported by the stick. You hit the empty hand like that, it's very annoying and easy to break fingers. That's it. Keep rolling. Okay. Keep rolling.
Right here.
The bones are relatively small there, and you can really get at the nerves, and it can be tremendously affecting. Tell us about it.
Feel it up the side of the arm, not just on the finger.
Yeah. See, the bones are small.
No, it didn't break. It just
No. Good shot. Compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, that's an example of hand shots can work.
And
even through the hand grip.
You can trap this real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, excellent shot. Well done. I mean, that's the way to play.
All right.
As I come in like this, boom, if he swings through, boom. This is our core idea. We have this hand here, so boom, like this. If this hand comes out to defend, boom, boom. We have these ideas. However, for the drill, we're going to assume that when we come in with a kick, he retracts. Also a common reaction. If he retracts, he's boom. Yeah, many people do that. So now in this moment, he's in position for a roof block. In the beginning, I go down towards the end of the stick so he gets familiarity with how hard I can hit with this, and we don't have to test my control or his precision with the safety of his hand. He knows I took some codeine for the pain in my back this morning. He's not trusting my control today. So as we come in, boom, 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 and I come out. Now notice this motion here. I swing the redondo, and that naturally swings me into this position here. So I come, and out. I shift to the other lead, as we saw a moment ago, and repeat. If he swing, I thought he was going to swing in that moment, doesn't matter. My motion should keep me protected. And now his turn. He shifts to the left lead. I shift. Now we can alternate. Again, we are looking to get to the distance where we're going to be able to trap this roof block. And at the first level, we let him get that roof and move out. Let's look at this material working it solo. First facing the camera and then facing away. I'm in my off-lead position, cover my head, salty strike. Krabi motion here. Come in with a kick. Forehand redondo. Clock. Adjust the range. When I'm ready, I step with the left foot. Salty. Kick. Forehand redondo. Clock. Adjust the range. Step with the left foot to create the off lead. Cover, wind up for the salty. Power crave strike. Come in, point of the triangle, corner of the diamond. Kick. Forehand redondo. Flowing into the clock. Adjust the range. Shift to the off lead. Here, cover the head. Salty. Kick. Forehand redondo. Into the clock. Adjust the range. Shifting to the left lead, the off lead. Now let us look at the receiving part. I meet the salty strike. I backhand jab while he kicks and throws the backhand. I roof block. I repeat. That's if he's staying on one side of the drill. In other words, if Benjamin keeps repeating the drill, this is my part. He's in the salty, he comes in. I just do back, boom. That's my whole part. He shifts back into the thing there. Yes, that's if he's doing one side. That's what I was just demonstrating, and now this is the other part. Incredibly simple. Move back on a forehand, backhand jab, roof. Restore to forehand. Pretty easy. Now, if we alternate sides, then it looks like this. I come in with the salty, backhand with the kick. Redondo. Block. Now, I'm Joe Generic. Forehand, backhand jab, roof block. Now I shift. That's the whole cycle, if we're alternating sides. So he's Joe Generic. I come in, salty, backhand with the kick, redondo, clock. Now he shifts, and he comes, I go forehand, backhand jab, roof block, he's out. Now I shift to the off lead. Boom, 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 boom. He shifts. Now notice this motion here where I go like this. If I'm not smooth at this moment, or if I don't do it, he's going to be able to pop me in the face on my way out. Boom, right here, whang. But if I do this motion correctly, it's going to pick up that line. So this is very important motion. Forehand redondo, clock. Forehand redondo into the clock. That's how it should feel very easy and natural once you get the hang of it. Boom. Now from here, many possibilities. So let's work the drill, just get in some repetitions. Here we go. Yeah, I put in a little backhand jab motion there so you get a sense of what that line is that he's covering, what the reason is for that motion. See, I kept him honest. I struck on his windup, his crossing the distance. You need to do that sometimes to keep your training partner honest. that he's not coming in like this, that he's not coming in like this. He was there. So I was able to strike on his wind-up that crosses the distance, his covering motion, and he was able to answer responsibly. Want to test yourself in this training for that point. Benjamin just drew my attention to an important detail, which is the proper way of chambering, winding up on double stick is going to leave you open when you do it single stick. So now drop one stick, see, freeze. Right there, if he's doing it the way he does double stick, that's when whack. And that's where Jean Salty's variation is going to be what protects him. So that's an important detail. If you have yourself only the set of reflexes of the double stick, and then you just simply do it the same way with single stick, your IQ is at risk. Now, what we just saw is the single tricus loop number 1. It's a good idea to practice that pretty hard, pretty aggressively, pretty fast. Get used to it, really own that movement. You can have a nice sweat, nice workout. And by doing it that way, you also keep your groove, you keep your flow. But then you also want to remember what it's intended to do, which is to get across that distance and get you into media range, get you into quarto range. So now we're going to see some of the follow-ups that can arise once we get across. These will tend to break the flow, and so the nature of the training shifts a little bit here. So once again, here I am, I'm in the off lead, he strikes my strike, I come in. Now, instead of being out at about this distance, I've managed to get into this distance, and I don't even have to trap, I can just have it here, and when he goes to roof block, he thinks he's going to be there in time and is surprised when his hand doesn't go up because I'm here, and this is a thunderous strike. Then come whang right down here. The next one he will want to block, and I come with the punya. When this comes at your face, it tends to get undivided attention. And particularly if he's just been whacked here. Boom, in this moment, see this hand right here? Right here a little bit. This is going to sneak right up here, very unexpected. Boom! Wonderful moment. Come here. See how his feet and his shoulders are in different lines? They're 90 degrees to each other. And so 1, 2, 3. This is the point of his triangle, and there's another point there. So I'm pulling on this line, and similarly with my feet, 1, 2, 3, there's another point there. So I am going to pull this to the point of my triangle, and I'm going to pull from the point of his triangle. It's an awkward landing for him. And for this technique, we're going to get out the padded sticks. So now, here, he thinks he's going to roof block, but he's surprised because I trapped. Boom. I come with the puño, he blocks. The uppercut gets in, I turn him here. His balance is very awkward, as we see there. Boom, boom, boom. In this moment that I apply this line and take him to the point of my triangle, I do this. And it gets him right in the head, in the face, and I work to the zone. Let us turn it to the other angle so we see what it looks like. Let me put you over here, Benjamin. So as I come here, I come here. Boom, 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 boom. Here I am. See how his shoulders and his feet are 90 degrees? I'm pulling his elbow right here down to the point of my triangle. Boom. He's kind of hard pressed to defend in such a moment. Oh, funny bone there. You know, it's terrible for him here, obviously. And that shot to the face on the way down, or wherever it hits on the head, can be very disconcerting as well. So, one more time. If you miss the head or not, doesn't matter because your follow-up position is quite superior. Elbow is wonderful. Of course, we have here. Boom. And now he's in a fetal curl. If he goes in that fetal curl, you can access targets coming in from behind. All right, sometimes when you go for that particular sweep, boom, 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 as I go for this here, he will step out. It can be. And which case I'm going to step over to here, and I am going to do, that was a sapu lure he stepped out of, and so I'm going to take him now to a sapu dolly. It's here. This moment here, we can come this way, we can come this way, we can come this way, we can simply leap upon him, we can do many, many things. And a little bit of showbiz on this one. So we come here, we come here, boom, I crack him in the head, and now, as he's distracted here, this motion comes here like this, and I shift it to here, and I have here. This is a Lameko disarm, or choke, or whatever the hell it is, but it's not fun, is it? No. One more time. This is usually taught out of Sector 3, feed me a classical feed. So we go into quick switch, here, boom. This is how it's usually taught. But instead we're coming in here, boom. See, boom, it's the same position. See, while he's getting hit in the head, that's when I'm getting this here. So I can whack him and shift into here, and I can also now reach to here and get that motion there. Not much showbiz in Dog Brothers, but we do have our moments. On a simpler level, if you want to avoid the show business, it's very simple. We come here, boom, and now we just come to how very easy. This basic one here, we're slamming him here, we're taking it into here, many possibilities as we come here. This is a wonderful favorite one of mine here. He will bounce. That's a fight ender right there, particularly when you get the thumb by itself. There are other ones where you get all the fingers. There are guys, high pain tolerance, who might do something, but in this moment here also I'm being nice, but in point of fact I would be lifting very vigorously at the same time that I was dropping very vigorously there. That would be very bad for Benjamin. So I could just lift him, and I could also come to here like this. Many possibilities. Kind of being a little sadistic at this point, because you just have so many ways you can submit him without hurting him. Okay. The variations we just saw were based upon the idea that his root block did not even get going because he was trapped. So this strike was happening here. But sometimes it will get up too soon. This is going to be unrealistic. And so I'm going to be agreeing with his rising motion here. Boom. Boom. He gets the roof block. Boom, that's the moment that that comes in right there. Now I might get this redondo or this puño. Many possibilities here. Boom, boom. Now we start finding, here, turn to the folks at home here. If I can get them off like this, these motions up here to the head, they can happen. I can also go to a vicious, return once again, a vicious camel toe. If I come in, boom. Boom, this is here. He's not expecting this line. This line is here, many possibilities. The left can shoot in here. This is the variation we're looking at. We can put the worm on the hook. We can do many things. We can help him go here. We can bring him into the variations of hitting the head back this way. If he's here, we can pull this leg out. This is dangerous here because it might lift the medial meniscus, and we zone for the head, looking for the elbow, looking for the head. It's not likely that he's surviving at this point. So we come in, boom, boom, boom. Once again, we're at this idea. So even though it came from under the roof instead of on top of the roof, here he is, he's turned up, and we have here. This time, we can look with the knee, we can look with a little head, big head. Here, I have to make sure he doesn't come up to me. I have to intuitively shut this line off. Come down here, which would really be on the bicep. Many possibilities here. Life is good. That was the, see, we're now back similar to the first variation. Boom, that was flash in, so I don't feel it. Instead, I'm going to go for the peroneal nerve here. Boom, he hits. Boom, we come to here, we come to here. This is where, if you have a good vocabulary of media and quarto range material, for example, I come from the Inisano blend system, you're going to find that you have things with which to respond efficiently. You may have wondered in class where some people say, oh, well, here, throw the left. When would I get Well, you're not going to get that literally like that, but if you sort of have this material as a way of recording systems, when you're here, recognize this. Then a lot of things will start coming out. Boom, wonderful shot here. Boom, boom. Now we're easily into the sea life. Oh, I can hit this knee here. Wonderful moment. This line here, many possibilities. Boom, obvious. Very easy. But the key here, the goal, is how do I get to there? This portal that takes us into this dimension that we're using here, we're using the Los Tricas material. We're flying across the triangle from the third dimension and driving with aggressive pressure. So, now we find this stuff. Boom, right here. Ooh, here like this. And even though I don't normally do flash, oh, okay, I'm going to have to go here. Boom, here. You see, he hits. Boom, 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 boom. Many possibilities. But this aggressive stuff, he's here. He's that kind of a guy. You can't come to my bubble. And I say, oh yeah? So, okay, I dominated this, but even if he gets the roof block up, which is the variations we're working on, boom, that's a terrible moment. Boom, boom, that's a terrible moment. Hawk cell, oh, those don't work. Boom, or boom, boom, boom. Many possibilities here. This comes here. Many possibilities here. We can just simply do the forward throw into cracking his head. We can spear the armpit. He doesn't like that one. We can be merciful and submit with the armbar. Funny bone, head, many, many possibilities. I remember this day in Santa Fe. It's the first time we experienced the krabi kicks. Arlen and his boys had been working it on their own for a bit, and was really quite an eye-opener.
Yeah, that's just a classic strong backhand with a strong kick right to the ribs. Yellow, to his credit, came back for more.
Vicious shot.
Yeah.
Vicious.
You're not going to take many of those in a day.
The off-lead occurs naturally to the human animal, and in his first gathering here we're going to see shorts naturally gravitate to this structure right here. It's like throwing a ball, very natural position for the human animal, throwing a rock for when there were before balls. This is the reigning dog. He throws a layup and a caveman together, sparks his opponent, knocking the stick out. He drops his own stick in sporting spirit and goes for the open field tackle. And in the next fight we're going to see here, now he's doing it with a bit more polish. Shift to the left lead. This gives him the distance as he crosses long with the right foot to get across the triangle from the third dimension and crack his opponent hard. Mask here is going to be showing a nice job of pressing with the roof block kind of a motion here.
I notice each time he closes, he has a very nice thrust, which a lot of fighters don't emphasize enough, but you'll see how effective it is.
And notice on the thrust he steps forward with the left foot. It's natural to the motion.
And it sets up shots to the knee. It's very hard to predict where you're going to come out of that motion once you're starting to close.
The same man in red now. Once again, we're going to see a lot of intuitive desire for that left foot forward.
Yeah, you also see with the left foot forward, there's a tendency sometimes for people to start going into a baseball stance, which you'll see Red here do in just a moment.
And see how he shifted out of it because he hasn't fully, it's intuitive, so he hasn't trained the logic of the position yet. But we keep seeing him wanting to go there some of the time.
Well, since sometimes the fight doesn't allow you to do that. Gray is an extremely powerful hitter. And
wonderful left hand, too. Very good at, one of the hardest men to close I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the baseball stance right there.
Yeah, nice tricky move here with the left hand looking to put out of that baseball bat.
Yeah. Again, though, you know, whatever the fight allows you to do, nice shot to the knee.
But see, now he doesn't. No, there's a nice effort there, an effort at the quick switch and a 64 attack motion there. This is a great fight, historic fight for the Dog brothers. I say this is really the fight that took it from hard sparring to fighting. I remember when this one happened, you know, the warrior spirit here really just inspired everybody.
Oh, yeah. Also a good example of how much you can actually take during a fight.
Fine fight.
Time. In this fight, you'll see Black go to the off lead pretty much from the get-go. There's a lot of pressure being applied on his opponent just by assuming this stance. Now, a quick skirmish and clash, not a lot happens there, but he goes right back to the off lead. You can feel him pressuring his opponent this whole time.
That power forehand there does a good job of adding to the intimidating quality of the pressure. Textbook application there of countering from this structure when a strike comes at you.
Right, and textbook stance. Again, in the off lead, you can feel coming down with a hard strike, pressuring his opponent the whole time.
Good understanding of how to use the structure to generate forward pressure. Now right here we're going to see him revert to a standard lead, and that's the moment that the opponent is able to counter with a flying roof, and now the fight goes to a different range. Shifts into the off lead right about here. This is textbook application. Stick position is perfect. The forward pressure is perfect. He's provoking, and no response. He initiates horizontal out the inside tooth. Textbook application from beginning to end.
Yeah, watch now. You switch back to his right lead, and coming up here, throws a very nice kick, but wasn't accompanied by a stick shot, and consequently his opponent's able to grab it and whack him in the head. And also, Cameo's a little cavalier about his defense, so you'll see Shorts landing some nice shots to the head that should otherwise have been handled by Cameo.
The forehand horizontal backs up the opponent, and Cameo uses the moment to, at this point, shift to his left hand. One suspects he's improvising here, and in this case pays for it. The chest-high strike allows the opponent to counter over the top, and that throws his game off for the backhand kick combination. And the fight continues. Cammy's position is fine here. And begins searching for the fang. Pants here is a tough man, climbs trees, competes in lumberjack contests, hard, wiry strength. Right now, he's got a broken right thumb, and so even though he's a righty, he's fighting lefty, and most of the time he'll keep the right hand behind his back. In honor of his warrior spirit, Shorts is not going to cut him any slack at all.
Okay, now the fighters are starting out with their stick foot forward. Here you'll see Shorts switch right away, right there. Now watch him as he fakes high with the stick and drops right down to the knee, striking the lead knee. That type of shot often happens when you have mismatched leads. Back to the right lead. Again, high.
Working the Floretti.
Watch how he swoops down.
Reverse angle to the midline. Nice.
Shot. And another one.
High to the high line.
Right to the head.
From the same chamber. Nice mixing up. Mid backhand to high forehand. is. He's in the off lead. I like the combination here a lot. Uppercut, backhand horizontal,
Boom to the
plants
head.
on the inside tooth. Comes back for some more because he likes what he sees.
Now keep in mind, he is fighting someone who's not a natural lefty, so some of the
true.
stuff would not have happened. Still, nice combination. Good etiquette too, by the way. Checks on his opponent. You okay? Yep. Keep going.
Tough man. Now the Floretti. Guess I'm thinking it's nothing. Another Floretti. Peroneal nerve. Perfect.
Right across. Nice closing. And he's closing in actually in both left and right lead.
Back to the off lead. Tries the same combination that worked before. It doesn't work, so he stays out. Keeps pressure on. I'm impressed with Pants here. Just because he's taking a lot of pressure, using his complementary hand.
Nice power shots by Shorts and
Time to call it a day.
now you're going to see a natural lefty versus a natural righty. And as often the case, right-handers usually have a hard time getting used to a left-handed type of fighter.
White decides to shift into the off lead here, and it's going to work very nicely for him. Nice technical shot here. Decides, oh, I'm going to try that some more. Now look at the setup here. This is textbook setup, and White is correct to initiate the move. But as we're going to see in a moment, Lefty responds by winding up into the caveman. Exactly so. In such a moment, White needs to not swing if his head is in range. If Lefty has jumped back, then he can complete the motion, but Lefty hasn't jumped back, and so as White completes his strike, his salty strike, he's going to get nicely countered mid-motion by Lefty. This is something you need to keep in mind when playing this game. White continues his attack and will do well overall in the fight. Had a hard time naming these fighters. They're both dressed so similarly. We decided on elbow pads, or pads for short, for the man whose back is to us, and elbows for the man without elbow pads facing us. Elbows came into this fight with the purpose of exploring his Los Tricas game, integrating his salty structure into his overall collie game. Probes with the off lead, doesn't find it to his liking, returns to standard lead, and the fighters move. The transition to the salty structure is something that you need to have. Here we see a Floretti into a clock, and elbows achieves the off lead. He comes in only part way though, and so he takes a nice hand shot to his hand. You don't want to take those, you get a broken hand. You gotta have a committed game coming across the gap. You need to be close enough to your opponent to arrive. So here we see him take a knee shot as he scores the headshot. He's a little bit closer, but not close enough. Now, this is the range you want. Here, he picks it up with the left, as we discussed, and the exchange is such that he is able to keep the pressure on and score a nice shot as he moves off. Once again, he's in the collie structure. A lot of movement makes him hard to pin down. This is a good thing. Pads is probably not sure where the opponent is. Integrating foot and handwork is important. Tries again. Kick doesn't reach, but clean shot on the head there. Without headgear, shots like that could be quite effective. And before the opponent recovers, he tries again, but the forehand horizontal gets through. The salty structure is tough to pull off against the forehand horizontals, and Pads did a nice job of moving off to his left on the closing effort there. We see pads go into power, which people tend to do when they're in trouble. He's wound up in the caveman, and Elbows is able to move around and choose his moment. This is a nice thing to have in a fight. Now the Salty comes into a thrust. The thrust misses, but that allows Elbows to get into a nice clinch position. His wrestling coach is proudly watching from the sidelines as Elbow achieves the takedown or in a nice, strong, dominant mount position. This is a good place to be. And just for sporting purposes, it looks like he lets go of his stick.
Here you're going to see two really high-level stick fighters going at it. One of the things I really liked about this fight is the way Stripes sets up a lot of his attacks. He goes down to the foot, making the opponent always aware that that's a target. Now watch how they probe each other. There's a lot of seamless transitions, a lot going on that you really can't appreciate until you actually have to face it. Now watch. Stripes shifts into the off lead, closes, right behind it, attacks with his roof block. Perfect shot to the head. Bang.
Really very textbook there.
Very textbook. Goes back to his normal stance. Again, nice low shots, making his opponent think about that line.
Good snake movement. Both of these fighters. Clinch game. Good knee.
Yep. Here Stripes faces a much different opponent. The fighter in white is a little larger and comes with a very primal energy with his strikes. Power is the main difference here. You see White set up a lot of his strikes with a very strong backhand, and then shifts to his off lead for a close with a caveman strike. Now Stripes blocks it perfectly like that, otherwise his head would have taken off, but White continues to close. And here at this point they're in a clinch, and the fight continues.
Stripes doing a good job of trying to maintain his feet, but as the fight falls into the crowd, no expenses spared. Fighters face a realistic environment, broken glass and all.
Watch his foot, watch his foot.
Watch your feet out. There's broken glass here. Untangle yourself slowly and carefully. Broken glass. Broken glass.
Here you go.
This fight has absolutely nothing to do with Los Triques. We just put it in here because we were inspired.
I'm 61!
What I like to say is that when I'm fighting people, I can only go so far by myself. I have to have these other people in order to continue growing, and I'm trying to ride the wave of their growth like a wave on a surfboard. I can't outpace them because there's no more than the surfboard can outpace the wave. You have to be in the midst, and then you grow, and you just try and be on top of everyone's growth. So if someone makes real advance, you go over there. Ah, what's he doing? You know, and if someone's lagging behind where you go, you just keep an eye on it because eventually they will catch up if they're serious.
Now, first strike, the guy steps back. So I'm going to step in, he steps back. Well, I can't really kick from here, can I? So I'm going to deliver a backhand, and I'm going to kick with the other leg. So you're going to start, step swing, boom, bam. Now, if you feel your distance is off, or that little shuffle step we did yesterday, if he really steps back, now I take the shuffle step and change my distance just like we did yesterday on the 9 count. Don't do a lot of distance while we're doing the drill. I gotta just step back now. Just be aware if he really takes a big step, I can do that shuffle step that we did yesterday on the 9 count to make up the distance. But I'm gonna come in, it's gonna be forehand, we're going to step back, rip off the back.